Words to remember. Chapter 6. General Anatomy and Physiology Part 1. Flashcards. Review over and over for best results. Anatomy. The study of human body structures that can be seen with the naked eye and how the body parts are organized, the science of the structure of organisms or of their parts. Physiology. The study of the functions and activities performed by the body's structures. Ology. Word ending meaning study of. Cells. Basic units of all living things from bacteria to plants to animals, including human beings. Nucleus. Dense, active protoplasm found in the center of the cell, plays an important part in cell reproduction and metabolism. Protoplasm. A colorless, jelly-like substance found inside cells in which food elements such as proteins, fats, carbohydrates, mineral salts, and water are present. Cytoplasm. The protoplasm of a cell, the watery fluid that surrounds the nucleus of the cell and is needed for growth, reproduction, and self-repair. Mitosis. The usual process of cell reproduction of human tissues that occurs when the cell divides into two identical cells called daughter cells. Cell membrane. A cell part that encloses the protoplasm and permits soluble substances to enter and leave the cell. Connective tissue. Fibrous tissue that binds together, protects, and supports the various parts of the body. Examples of connective tissue are bone, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, blood, lymph, and fat. See adipose tissue. Tissue. A collection of similar cells that perform a particular function. Adipose tissue. The technical term for fat, it gives smoothness and contour to the body. Epithelial tissue. A protective covering on body surfaces, such as skin, mucous membranes, the tissue inside the mouth, the lining of the heart, digestive and respiratory organs, and the glands. Muscle tissue. Tissue that contracts and moves various parts of the body. Organs. Structures composed of specialized tissues designed to perform specific functions in plants and animals. Nerve tissue. Tissue that carries messages to and from the brain and controls and coordinates all bodily functions. Body systems. Also known as systems, groups of body organs acting together to perform one or more functions. The human body is composed of 11 major systems. Digestive, gastrointestinal. Also known as gastrointestinal system, the body system that is responsible for breaking down foods into nutrients and wastes. Consists of the mouth, stomach, intestines, salivary and gastric glands, and other organs. Skeletal system. Forming the physical foundation of the body, it composed of 206 bones that vary in size and shape and are connected by movable and immovable joints. Respiratory. Body system consisting of the lungs and air passages, makes blood and oxygen available to body structures through respiration, breathing, and eliminating carbon dioxide. Joint. A connection between two or more bones of the skeleton. Skull. Skeleton of the head, divided into two parts, cranium and facial skeleton. Cranium. An oval, bony case that protects the brain. Occipital bone. The hindmost bone of the skull, below the parietal bones, forms the back of the skull above the nape. Facial skeleton. The framework of the face, composed of 14 bones. Frontal bone. The bone that forms the forehead. Parietal bones. Bones that form the sides and top of the cranium. Temporal bones. Bones that form the sides of the head in the ear region. Ethmoid bone. Light, spongy bone between the eye sockets, forms part of the nasal cavities. SPHENOID bone. Bone that joins all of the bones of the cranium together. Lacrimal bones. Small, thin bones located at the front inner wall of the orbits, eye sockets. Nasal bones. Bones that form the bridge of the nose. Zygomatic bones. Also known as malar bones, malar bones, or cheek bones, bones that form the prominence of the cheeks. Maxillae. Singular, maxilla. Bones of the upper jaw. Mandible. Lower jaw bone, largest and strongest bone of the face. Hyoid bone. U-shaped bone at the base of the tongue that supports the tongue and its muscles. Cervical vertebrae. The 7 bones of the top part of the vertebral column, located in the neck region. Thorax. Also known as chest or pulmonary trunk, pulmonary trunk, consists of the sternum, ribs, and thoracic vertebrae. Ribs. 12 pairs of bones forming the wall of the thorax. Scapula. Also known as shoulder blade, large, flat, triangular bone of the shoulder. There are 2 scapulae. Sternum. Also known as breastbone, flat bone that forms the ventral, front, support of the ribs. Clavicle. Also known as collarbone, the bone that joins the sternum and scapula. Humerus. Uppermost and largest bone in the arm, extending from the elbow to the shoulder. Radius. Smaller bone in the forearm, lower arm, on the same side as the thumb. Ulna. Inner and larger bone in the forearm, lower arm, attached to the wrist and located on the side of the little finger. Carpus. Also known as wrist, flexible joint composed of a group of 8 small, irregular bones, carpals, held together by ligaments. Thank you. Next chapter. 6 General Anatomy and Physiology Part 2.